Peter Vogt here, the introvert advocate, and today's video is about becoming a conscious introvert. A conscious introvert. It is such a beautiful idea, and it is such a beautiful thing to even think about, and it comes from this book that I've never read before. One of the great joys of what I do is that I get to read on purpose virtually every day about introversion. I'm always learning about introversion. I've been doing it for 20 years, and it's just something that really gets me going in the morning. It's something that fascinates me, and so I'm always reading about introversion and introverts, and I'm always amazed that I'm learning more and more and more all the time. It seems like you would reach this point where you've learned everything, right? And man, that is just not the case for me. Now, sometimes I'm reading the brand new books. Sometimes, very often, in fact, I will reread once a year certain of the older books. And then once in a while, a book comes along that for me is what I guess I'd call a new old book, which is to say that it's an old book, but it's one that I've never seen before. And that would describe the book that I've been reading now. It's called, here we go, Introverts at Ease, An Insider's Guide to a Great Life on Your Terms. And it's written by Nancy Okerlund, an introvert career coach, or an introvert coach, I should say. And one of the beautiful, beautiful concepts she talks about in this book, it's really kind of the gist of the book all on its own, is what she calls her own process of becoming what she calls a conscious introvert. Now, this is an idea that occurred to me myself a long time ago, but I've always put it in different words. I say something along the lines of, just go ahead and be the introvert you are. If you're an introvert, be the introvert you are. And I use that in my own life every day, sort of as a way of motivating myself. I've named my course and coaching program that, be the introvert you are. It's really just to go ahead and grab hold of this thing that is a part of you called introversion and run with it instead of running against it. And I love that idea. It's very empowering. Well, Nancy Okerlund in this lovely book has given it a different name, and she calls it Becoming a Conscious Introvert. And what she means by that is that you just become conscious of your introversion very purposefully every single day of your life. She's not implying, of course, that, we're all running around unconscious all the time. That's not what she's saying. Is that she's not making a literal statement. She's saying be more aware of it. Be consciously aware of your introversion as you go about your life each day, and run with it and take care of yourself according to it so that you're healthy and happy as the introvert you are. I think it would help you to understand more if I just read a couple of the passages from this book, which I'm going to attempt to do here while I hold the phone in the right place. So forgive me if I'm a little bit off, but I want to read you this first passage. This book itself, by the way, is just a beautiful, beautiful book to read. It's really the story of Nancy Okerlund's own journey about discovering her own introversion and really just kind of reawakening to it, I guess is what the word would be. Awakening to it and then running with it in her own life. And this is what she says about being a conscious introvert. She says, I coined the term conscious introvert because I've been so moved by the difference it has made in my life to have this new level of self-awareness about my body and mind, and heart and spirit, to be honest. I went from a vague sense of something's being wrong with me to the sudden realization that the ways in which I felt abnormal or out of place had to do with the way my body naturally functions in the extroverted nature of our culture. My introversion had been normalized. Curious that I didn't really discover my problem until I saw the solution. So there, right near the beginning of the book, you can see that she's having this kind of aha moment that so many of us have had as introverts. She's having this aha, there's nothing wrong with me. It's just the fact that I'm an introvert. That explains a lot of the things in my life. Well, she goes on later in the book And you can really see, you go on this journey with her, and she talks more and more about intentionally becoming and embracing what she calls being a conscious introvert. Later on in the book, she says, "So I'm what I call a conscious introvert. I've reframed introversion. Not only am I very aware of it, but I love being an introvert and consider it a wonderful asset. I manage my energy respectfully. I'm finding my own introvert ways of being in the world, and I'm working on my extroverting skills." She's very careful, by the way, to point out the difference between trying to become an extrovert and developing extroverted skills or extroverting skills, but that's another video. Finally, let me just share this last passage with you because it really sums up her argument and her discovery of becoming a conscious introvert and her encouragement for you to do the same if you're an introvert. She says, "Behaving like an introvert is good for my soul. The more I do things my own introvert way, the better I feel." I couldn't agree more. That's why, as I said, my own sort of mantra every day in life and the name of my course and program and much of what I do is, it's in a nutshell, it's be the introvert you are. Just go ahead and be the introvert you are and be very conscious of it in your everyday life so that you take care of yourself the best way possible and become healthy and happy consistently as the introvert you are. So I just love this book. Again, it's called Introverts at Ease, An Insider's Guide to a Great Life on Your Terms by Nancy Okerlund. I'll put the title and the information in the comments and the links to this video. It so reminds me of a time several years back when my book, The Introvert Manifesto, came out, when it first came out. I was a guest on a local morning program on a local TV station. Man, it must have been 10, 12 times. I was on there quite a lot talking about introverts and introversion. And for me, being on TV is one of those experiences like, I don't know, being on a roller coaster, taking a roller coaster ride. I mean, it's terrifying and thrilling at the same time. And the moment you get on, you think to yourself, oh my God, why am I on here? And then the moment you're done, you say, oh, I want to do it again. Well, that's how being on TV was for me. After one of the episodes, actually in between the two segments, it was split into two segments, and then they would go to commercial. There would be a segment, they would go to commercial, then they would come back and we would talk some more. And I remember just so vividly one time when I was on the show, after the first segment was over, one of the co-hosts, his name was Chris, and as I look back on it, I get a sense now that he's probably pretty introverted himself. I don't know that for a fact. But anyway, I'll never forget it. He turned to me and he said, "Man, Peter, you're really owning this introvert thing." And at the time, I took it as a compliment, and I think it was. And I said, well, thank you. But it reminded me, as I was reading this lovely book, I was so reminded of that comment, because what Nancy Okerlund is talking about in this book and what I am talking about in my work is owning your introversion, owning it, running with it instead of running against the wind and trying to be something you're not. And so I just love the way that Nancy has expressed that in this book. As I've said, she calls it becoming a conscious introvert. Make introversion and your introversion a conscious part of your day, every day, all day, and make sure that you use your introverted knowledge and your introverted passions and your introverted skills to just go ahead and be the introvert you are each day and run with yourself instead of fighting against yourself. So take that idea to heart today and in the days ahead. I hope you found this helpful, the video helpful. And if you enjoy this video and you find it helpful, please share it with other people that you know on social media and in your life. Whether you're an introvert, by the way, or whether you're an extrovert. Maybe you're an extrovert watching this and there's an introvert in your life who could really use this message and use this knowledge in their own lives. Please share that with them. In the meantime, I'm Peter Vogt, the Introvert Advocate, and you can find out more about me and my work, as always, by visiting me at my website, introvertinsights.com. I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching, everybody.